Alright Dave, thanks very much for taking time to talk to me today. How are you doing?
Good, yeah, just usual, yeah, just trucking along.
Very good. So how long have you actually been tattooing for?
Actually tattooing about 6 months, so maybe 7 months now.
Okay.
So started my apprenticeship last October, and then I had a bit of a break in between for maybe 2 months or so where I wasn't doing anything. I was just kind of in between, and then got back into it again. So about 6 months in total of actual working tattooing.
Okay, brilliant. And what was it that motivated you to become a tattoo artist?
It's something I've always really loved. Like my dad had loads of tattoos growing up and stuff, so I've always been like super interested in tattoos as an art form, and just I've always kind of been around it. My uncle as well, my dad's brother, was quite heavily tattooed as well, so growing up I always knew eventually I would be covered in them, and then that just kind of spread on to started kind of drawing bits and pieces at home, and then you kind of get to that point where you're like, maybe I could sort of turn this into a job. You know, at first you're like, no, there's no chance, but then eventually you kind of go, actually, maybe I could, and then it just kind of happens, you know.
Take the leap.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want to talk to you about being an apprentice, which is why I wanted to interview you first, because I think I'm going to be interviewing people who have done it for years, and I thought it would be nice to get some information from someone who's just starting. And what is it actually like to be an apprentice?
Depends where you do it. There's a lot of places where it's a whole different ballgame to what it was where I did it, you know, and so obviously here where I did it, you know, there's places where it's like apprentice and then one mentor, that's it, you know, and then you kind of, the mentor just has like his certain way of doing things and he'll just take you through it, and then there's places where it's just like a whole shop thing, you know, where you're looking after the shop, and then everyone in the shop is kind of throwing you bits and pieces here and there, you know, so it's kind of, my one was a bit different than a normal one, because I think most apprenticeships you're kind of doing it for a whole bunch of years, whereas I only really did mine for like 2 months I think, and then I was just tattooing from there, so
you struck lucky?
Yeah, pretty much. It actually came from like a joke. I was in here for I think a month or so, and then one of the other guys that works here, for a joke, wanted me to tattoo a little Sailor Jerry pig on him, and then I did it and it was actually alright, so it just kind of went from there. It was like, well, actually there's really no point in going backwards in it, you know, so it just kind of happened, and then from then it was just tattoo your friends, and then after the friends, I was lucky enough that loads of friends wanted tattooed by me, and then it just kind of, it's now turned into tattooing just people, so yeah, it's good.
So, I was actually going to ask you how long does an apprenticeship last, but you just mentioned yours was 2 months.
Yeah.
So is it all basically you're an apprentice until you're ready and you're approved by, say, your peers?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, some places, no matter what, they have a strict program, and it doesn't matter how good your tattooing could be better than everyone else in the shops, but you'll still be looked at as the apprentice, because that's the structure that they want to be on, and in that way, if there's ever like another apprentice comes after you, it's fair regardless, you know. But yeah, generally, it's as far as my experience, it was just as soon as you're not carving people up, then you're grand to go. I mean, I've done. It sounds like I don't really have to do much, but I mean, I've done pretty much everything you would do. You know, I've done the whole building up machines. I've done the whole tattooing myself. So I've been through all that, and at this point, I still look at myself as an apprentice, even though I just kind of tattoo whenever, I still look at myself as an apprentice. I would never go and tell anyone that I'm like a full-fledged tattooer or whatever. And I still do like the smaller jobs that come in, that the other guys are too busy, to do, because obviously doing much bigger projects. So I still do a lot of like the wee symbols and the names and all. It's all for me, So I would still say I'm very much an apprentice, regardless of the fact that I don't necessarily have a mentor anymore.
That's brilliant. Did you start off here, or did you start off anywhere else? Did you always want to start in Goodtime Tattoos, or was it just something that you fell into? Well,
it was, I've always, like, my apprenticeship was here, and like I said, there was, I had a few things going on in the background of my personal life that made me step away for a few months, and that was the wee gap I was talking about. Then it was just back here again. I did a little bit of work in a friend shop in East Belfast, but that was just to kind of keep me going, while I was kind of in between what I was doing. I just had a few prior appointments that I had to honour, because I told people I would tattoo them, that I couldn't really commit fully here, so I didn't want to just come in and do them and then go again. So I just kind of stepped away, did a bit of work in a friend shop, and then ended up back here again once I was ready to just get right back at it again. But I only really took my portfolio here. I was always too afraid to take my portfolio anywhere because I just criticized my stuff constantly. So by the time there was like 5 bits of art, the first one was taken out, and I was just constantly like a cycle. So I never really had like a full portfolio. And then I just happened to have it on me one day, and I was like, yeah, I'll just kind of go in and check this place out, and that's what I did. So I kind of met one of the guys who used to work here, a guy called Dave Zane. He used to eat in a bar I used to work in, so I kind of chatted to him, so that's how I found out about this place, and then just came around, and that was it really. I kind of got lucky because when I gave the portfolio in, they weren't really looking for anybody, but I went to the London Tattoo Convention like the day that I brought it in, and then it just happened that it was super busy here that weekend, and then the owner was just like, I call that guy up and get him to come in and help us out, so that's what I did.
Very good. And I overheard you while you were working on some upstairs. It's very full time because you're taking a lot of the work home as well because you're drawing the designs. I take it you're not working anywhere else other than tattoos. This is where you're making your money.
Yeah, like that was instant. I tried initially when I first started my apprenticeship to balance the two, but literally I think it lasted 1 shift, and I was like, nah, I can't be at that because you're trying to draw. Even when you're not tattooing people, you're trying to draw to get your art better. And then you're coming in, you're doing all like the apprentice duties that you do, you know, and then now that I'm actually tattooing people, it never really stops, you know, because I could go home tonight and have no appointments tomorrow, for example, and then someone could message me, and I've had people message me as late as like 1 in the morning and say, have you got any space tomorrow? And it's like, yeah, okay, what do you want? And then it turns out it's something I have to draw, like it's not like a name or something like that, it's like a traditional piece or something, so it's like, right, get to work again, you know.
And do you like that it's so busy? Do you like that it keeps you active and on your toes so much?
Yeah, I think it's great, especially about the style of art that I do, which is traditional tattooing. I like that it's very much, I mean, obviously all the designs are kind of, you know, interpreted from Showa Jerry, Capcom, and the older guys, but you still have to put your hand to it, you know. It's not something you just go and trace it out and away you go. You always want to draw your own version of what people ask for, you know. So, I mean, there's only so many anchors or roses or daggers or skulls you can do, but you still always want to try to change one thing about them every time you go on to the next one and just keep it fresh, you know. So it's good.
That signature touch.
Pretty much, yeah. So most people, I'm quite lucky that they'll let me just draw away, you know. They'll say what they want and they go okay, and then I just kind of draw. And if I show them, then most of them like, that's fine.
It must make you feel good, like 6 months and you're drawing designs for people and they're approving it, because that's on their body for life.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's surprising for me, but it's great. I'm not complaining, obviously. So
it's very rewarding to be doing
definitely.
that for your full-time job.
Exactly, yeah, I love it.
So you mentioned traditional style tattoos. Is that what you specialise in?
Or it's I wouldn't say I'm a specialist.
Yeah, I suppose
you know what I mean?
months
It's what I do. Like as far as my favourite style, like the tattoos I have, and the tattoos I want to look at and then want to make myself are all traditional. It's what I look. It's my favourite style of tattoo. And
are you open to try any other styles? Like if someone brings you something, you're happy enough to do that as well?
Yeah, I've done a few other bits and pieces. Like not that like at this point I haven't tried any like realistic black and grey stuff or anything yet because I just haven't been tattooing long enough to be trying anything like that. But I'm open to eventually to going into that, and like I said, I've done like a lot of freehand script and things like that. I do a lot of that, and just like pretty much anything that I feel comfortable in doing. You know, the way I kind of look at it is if it's lines in colour or lines in black, I can do it. You know, so because that's the basis of most tattooing, but it's specifically traditional. It's lines and colours. So I've done a bit of tribal, I've done some symbols, I've done this kind of stuff as well, you know.
So I can bring you some weird cartoon characters, you'll be happy enough for that?
I actually tattooed Simba from the Lion King the other day, like, but the little carving on the tree thing that he did, I don't know what the guy's called, but that...
Was it Mufasa?
Mufasa's the dad.
Oh,
what do you call the baboon guy?
Rafiki!
Him,
there
Rafiki,
we go.
The wee thing he makes with like the coconut thing, or the watermelon stuff, I tattooed that on some girl's arm, so that was pretty cool. That was different for me, there was no lines in it, so it was a bit weird, but it was good.
Art Disney knowledge. So, very quickly, just can you name your favourite tattoo artist, if you've got one? Is there someone who you always, I would say, inspired to be like?
Well, I suppose anyone really who's just doing really solid, clean tattoos. There's a whole lot of people that I'm exposed to every day, like new people, so it's hard to say a specific one, but Showa Jerry will always be, I think any traditional guy, he's always like the man, so I just guess I'd say him.
Okay, that's brilliant. Well Dave, that's everything I've got to ask. Thank you again for taking time out to sit with us. So everyone should go check out Dave Jackson at Goodtimes. Tattoo Belfast. Thanks again. See you.